guys, welcome to my channel. Today is the start of a new series on my channel called SSWX Radio Reviews. And obviously, we had radio reviews before by another YouTuber named WR120, but obviously some community drama happened involving him, and he is no longer in, oh my god, okay. He is no longer in the community, so I'm going to be taking over the radio reviews. Right here, we're going to be starting off today with a very simple weather radio for the radio reviews. It's my Midland WR120. Alright, so as you see, we did the intro. So I'm going to warn you about one thing. Right here, because my computer's right there, the reception on my 120 isn't the greatest. Obviously, you can't really hear it. But if I were to move it over here to the radio table.
Delaware at 10 a.m. Dover was 34 degrees under cloudy skies. Georgetown was 37 degrees under mostly sunny skies.
Receive signal perfectly fine. So, basically, I don't have, it's taking forever to save.
28.
But yeah, it just doesn't have great reception right now, which is okay. But let's get started. So, we're first going to start off with basic things like the build quality, the button beeps, the siren test, and the speaker quality. So let's get started. Okay, let's start off with the build quality. The Midland WR120 has pretty good build quality. I'm going to put the antenna down real quick. One thing that I do notice about these radios, though, is that the antennas do happen to snap a lot, but I don't know if that's just personal problems or if it's actually like a thing wrong with the antenna. I lost the back cover to mine, unfortunately. But, yeah. So, this is my Midland WR120. Easy. My only one. I had two at one point, but my other one decided to take a crap. So I don't know where that one went. I don't know what's wrong with that one, but it just randomly stopped working. So no, this one is in that one's shell, but it has a different board because I broke the screen to this one originally. Well, let's get started with the build quality. So I'm gonna set the time real quick. It is 10:15 a.m. I'm gonna set it to 10:16 because we're close to 10:16. 6. Okay, there, I just want to set the time real quick. Anyway, so the build quality I feel like is pretty good. You know, mine is a little bit worse because I've taken it apart before. Obviously, the switch is gone. Oh, Lord. But the build quality is okay. Like, if you get a brand new 120, the build quality is going to be pretty good. The plastic feet are pretty fragile, but that's honestly just normal. We're now going to go over the button beeps and the siren test. Okay, so let's start with the button beeps. I have them turned off on here because they do kind of get annoying, but we're gonna do the button beeps real quick. Turn them back on. Alright, so there's the button beeps for you. I can tell the batteries are starting to get low because the screen's flickering, but it's fine. If anything, I'll plug it in. As you can tell, that's what the button beeps sound like. They can get kind of annoying after a while, so I'm going to turn them back off. But yeah, that's what the button beeps sound like. And let's now get into the siren test. This is very loud, warning you. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what the WR120 sounds like by now. But yeah, as you can see, we've got a bunch of different menu settings like alert type and stuff, but we'll get into that in a second. Now let's get over to the speaker quality. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back over to the radio table for this one because I need a place where it'll get okay reception. Okay.
Rain. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles until midnight. Monday, southeast winds around 5 knots. Waves 1 foot or...
Okay, so in my personal opinion with the Midland WR120 is that the speaker quality isn't the greatest. I feel like, you know, compared to a Radio Shack, obviously a 12996 is not good, but
Winds 10 to 15 knots.
that's amazing. But even compared to like a WR400,
Hours likely, mainly in the morning.
even the 400's better. The 100 is
West winds 5 to 10 knots. Waves 1 foot or less.
even a little better in my opinion. But the WR120, you know, it just has a really scratchy speaker at times, and pair that with a loud alert tone, it's just not the greatest. But yeah, so next up is we're going to move into the reception quality. Okay, so as you've seen, the reception quality isn't that great on the WR120. let's play the, let's just go through a few channels real quick. And, for example, I'm gonna go on my 12-991 here, and I'm gonna show you what channels I can normally get inside the house. Well, at least right here. I could probably get channel 2, 4, and 5.
Northeast winds around 10 knots. With a temperature of 27.
Usually that sounds better, but it's plugged in.
With a temperature of 37 at Georgetown, Delaware. He's 2 feet and 3 seconds.
This is my best reception radio, in my opinion. This and this. So comparing that to the Midland WR120.
Waves 2 to 3 feet.
Actually, it's not a fair comparison if I don't plug it in. Where's the charger? Right here. Okay. It's not a fair comparison if I don't plug the WR120 in. And I'm gonna be honest, it's worse when it's plugged in. The plugging it in makes the reception 10 times worse. Okay.
Rain likely. Monday night, south winds 10 to 15
That's my main channel.
Once again, at 10 a.m. in eastern Maryland, it was 34 degrees. And over Delaware, it was 34 degrees. Lancaster, it was 30 degrees under cloudy skies.
Okay, channel 2 is about the same, but
Here is a
channel 5, that's just a complete difference. So, yeah, that's the reception quality on the Midland WR120. And if I had to rate the reception quality between 1 and 10, I'd give it about a 4. I don't think it's that great, but I don't think it's horrible. So next up, we're going to be moving on to, let's see. Okay, next we're going to move on to the set events function. Okay, so the set events function differs on what kind of WR120 you have. This is an easy. This is a review on the WR120 easy. But there is multiple different models of the WR120. Like there's a WR120B, A, and then there's a new one called the WR120 DSP. This is the classic old easy. So I will be right back to do the alert blocking. All right, so moving on to the setting events or alert blocking function. Let me put the feet up. It's either the first setting it's the first setting. So when you go in the menu, start at set time. You can either press the down button and you go all the way to the end. And then, yeah. Or if you're at set time, you could just click up one time and you'll get to set events. And I have it on edit events because if you put it on all on, for some reason it does not turn the RWT on. I don't know why. But it has some alerts off by default, which is kind of annoying. But this is like, you can go through and select what alerts you want on. Actually, I don't know why some of these are off. Yeah, so, I mean, you can just go through and select what alerts you want on. And a lot of them, you can just click select, and then you can toggle between if you want it on or off. I want most of these on, so just click on every alert. Now, if you want it to go off for the required weekly test, you have to turn that on too. It's actually on mine. I remember turning it on. Same with monthly test. And the reason monthly test is on is because they tone those as they tone the tornado drill as monthly tests. But obviously some of these alerts will be off, like national tests and stuff, which they don't even tone anyway half the time. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can do with the WR120. And I think the WR120 is a okay radio, in my opinion. It's not the best out there. I feel like if you're going to go and get a weather radio, like if you want to go to a store and purchase a weather radio, there's better options. So like the WR120, you can obviously purchase at Walmart. You can also purchase the G-Storm at Walmart, or at some Walmarts, the ER50 and ER210. But this is basically all I have closest to an ER50. And they're okay. But I don't recommend getting a G-Storm over a WR120. Same with an ER50. But if you go to like a Cabela's or something and you see a WR400, I do actually recommend getting this over the WR120. Same with the Ethon Zone Guard. They sell those there too. And I do actually recommend getting a Zone Guard over a WR120. That's your opinion. That's obviously up to you. You can pick whatever radio you want. But my opinion is that the WR120 there's a lot of radios that are better than the WR120. So anyway, we're going to be moving now on to, I guess, okay, so next we're moving on to the DXing capabilities. Okay, So the DXing capabilities on the WR120, they're okay. I feel like they're better than a lot of other Midland radios. Like the WR100 is good, but the 120 is definitely better. It's better than the 400. It's better than the HH54. It's better than the ER series radios, besides the ER310. The ER310 is definitely better than the WR120 DXing, but it's better than a lot of other radios. But nothing, not even the WR120. If you want a good DXing radio, you gotta get one of these two. The 12996 by Radio Shack or the 12-991. The 120 is not going to surpass any of those radios. But I would say it's okay for getting, like, stations 200 miles or less away from you. I don't know. 200 miles or less would be, like, I guess the ideal DXing range for the WR120. If you're, like, in 200 miles of the transmitter, you could probably get it in Tropo, as long as you have Tropo. But as you can tell, you know, it's not the greatest at it's probably not going to be, like, your best radio at DXing, but it's okay. So next up, we're going to be moving on to the languages. So the WR120 has 3 languages, so it's very bilingual. You have English, Spanish, and French. Because it's available in Canada, which speaks French. It's available in English, which speaks, obviously, or it's available in the United States, which is no other radio's area. So it's available in the United States, which speaks English. And then it's available in Puerto Rico and I believe Mexico, which speaks Spanish. Now, I don't know about American Samoa. They probably speak some sort of Spanish, but yeah. I'm not sure. But all I know is that it's also available in those, like American Samoa and Guam and stuff. But yeah, so that's just that setting. So yeah, and we're about done now, but we need to move into one more thing. And that is the final rating. How many stars I'd give it, and what my overall opinion on the WR120 is. Let's take it back to its home for this. Okay, so my opinion on the Midland WR120 is it's a good radio. Okay, you know, it's okay.
It was partly sunny.
If you need a weather radio in a crunch, this is probably one of the radios you'll want to buy. My first weather radio was not a WR120. It was actually a WR100, but it was still very similar. I got my WR100 from a state sale. My second weather radio was a WR120. I got my first one, which I don't have anymore. I got my first WR120 from Walmart. And if you're in Walmart and you're like, oh, I need a weather radio, like, ASAP, there's a big storm coming. You'll go into Walmart and you can find the Midland WR120 pretty easily in the electronics section around the speakers and boomboxes and stuff. So, you can probably buy, you could buy one of these for about $34, and they're decent. Right now, Walmart doesn't have them because obviously Midland stopped making the EZs. So, soon Walmart will instead have the DSPs, and when Walmart eventually gets the DSPs, I'm gonna buy one. Just cause I still need to do a review on the DSP, but yeah. And I also still need to have I want a DSP just so that I can have another WR120 too, and the EZs I've had the EZs for so long, I mean, I might as well just get a new one. Now, the WR120, I feel like there's many better radios than it, so I'm going to give it a 3-star rating. So my reason for giving the Midland WR120 a 3-star rating is because the reception quality isn't the greatest, and because it has a kind of not the greatest speaker. That's my rating. That's the reason I give the WR120 a 3-star rating. Now, I'm not saying the WR120 is a bad radio, because it is not. The WR120 is actually a very good radio. It's probably one of Midland's best. But obviously, it's not Midland's best. It's one of their best, because you still have the WR400, which I feel like is a lot better than the WR120. And not only is the WR400 better, I feel like some of the ER series radios are better, like the ER310. Now, I wouldn't go out and buy like an ER10 VP over a WR120. Like, I would not do that, because I don't prefer the ER10 VPs over the 120. They're good radios, obviously, but you know, they don't compare to a Midland WR120. I'm going to say that now. They just don't. So if you're going to go out and get any radio, I would get a Midland. If you're going to go out and get any Midland radio, if you're going to Walmart to get a Midland radio, get a 120. If you're going to Cabela's to get a Midland radio, get a 400. And if you're going to Ace to get a Midland radio, which is honestly really rare, get the 120, because the 120, actually I think Ace sells 300s too. I could be wrong about that. But they sell 120s and ER10 VPs. If you want the ER10 VP, get it. If you want the 120, get the 120. It really did not matter. But if you have the choice between a Midland WR120, a Midland WR400, or if you're in a radio shop and you have a choice between any of these radios, right? But you're looking at the WR120, get the WR120. It's probably going to be your best bet. So, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of Radio Reviews. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And in the next video, we're going to have a special guest. SPC Burlington EAS Weather will be joining us for the next episode of Radio Reviews on a voice call, not in person. But eventually, I will be doing an in-person radio review with him. Probably at the 12996. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.